October, what did you read?
October was a mess for me because I started off real strong in October, but then I got hospitalised.
Thanks to be you.
Well, I hit a reading slump, but then I got hospitalised.
I'm gonna have to speed through this because I've read too many.
I need to find mine.
I read 15 books.
I think I read 8. 7 or 8.
I read Rock, Paper, Scissors. There wasn't enough people, I think, for it to be, like, enticing, because there was, like, 3 characters, and it's like, oh, who did it? Who the fuck do you think? Then I read Run on Red, which was crazy.
Was it good,
and
though?
men are scary, yeah.
Yeah, men are scary. That is the moral of most, like, thriller or horror books that I read, is men are the enemy.
That was a really good book. Then I read Unhinged as well.
And Stuffed.
And Stuffed, yeah. Then Boy Parts, which was like American Psycho but female. There was 2 of the tropes I do not like, which were cat death and non-con.
Why is cat death a trope? It's always...
because it's always a cat.
Yeah, it's always a cat, it's never a dog. Not non-con.
She shoved like a glass bottle up someone's arse.
Oh god, it's just American Psycho about a woman, you're right. You've not even read American Psycho for you to say that. I'll do a couple now.
Yeah.
I read The Salt Grows Heavy by Cassandra Clare, which is a short novella. It's like a gothic novella about a mermaid and a plague doctor going through a post-apocalyptic world. And it's actually really good. It's only 125 pages, but it's very well written, and there's like morals to it, and there's like a story, there's like all these different like symbolisms and things, but it's really good. It's like a gothic, it's like reading a really like an 1800s gothic novel, but like on an acid trip.
Nice.
It's actually really good. I would say, I put in my thing, beautifully gothic and gory, with a bloodthirsty mermaid, and an androgynous Frankenstein's monster-like plague doctor. It's almost like a darker retelling of The Little Mermaid, and I put beautifully written and disturbingly captivating. I gave it 5 stars, it was really good, you should read it. And then I read Playground by Ara Beauregard, which we've done another video on, so I won't bother you with that, but I gave it 4 stars. And I gave it 4 knives.
Okay.
Because when I started reading horror, I started giving them like knives and blood splatters. Knives is like for violence, and blood splatters are for gore. Well, knives are like for the horror level, and then your blood splatters for gore. Because some of them would be like good books, but then their gore and their horror factor just weren't there. So it gave me like a good rating system. After Playground, I read No One Rides for Free.
I've got mine there.
By Judith Sonnet, so we may as well discuss that one together. What did you rate it, Cameron?
3 out of 5, but my only review was, what the actual fuck?
I also gave it 3. I gave it 3.5 stars, 3 knives and 3 blood splatters. Just because, yeah, I also put, I guess, definitely read the trigger warnings, but my review was forced incest, crazy man, gruesome descriptions, rape and sexual violence, short, fast to read splatterpunk. Because it's only like, where is it, 76 pages, but it felt longer because it was so hard to get. It is really like, and I saw a video where someone was like, oh, it's Judith Sonnet's gruesome book, but then Judith Sonnet responded, and she's got gorier books, so I need to read some of those. I will say it is actually quite well written. She's got a really good writing format and writing style, but it's just not for me. I don't like things like forced incest or
Who's gonna like that?
well, some people do like reading that kind of thing because it's like an outlet for their trauma, but it's just not for me.
The descriptions of his penis.
Oh, stop, because ain't no way. It's definitely not one for beginners. The problem with splatterpunk is that you have 2 types of splatterpunk. You have actual like gory splatterpunk and just sex. That's it.
Yeah.
That is like your 2 splits in splatterpunk. You can go now.
I read My Daughter's Boyfriend, which was about this woman's daughter has a boyfriend in America and she wants to go see him. Basically, he's a murderer.
Of course. That could have been my life.
I thought, why was the daughter so annoying? Mums are going to be concerned because she was always like, as a typical teenager, but she was like 24. I was like, why are you acting like that? For a man could never be me. Oh, sorry.
Yikes.
Both of them were murderers, the son and the father, because like the father is like, I killed your mum, but he doesn't know. And it's like so too much. Like that did not need to happen. Like if you kept that out, it would have been okay. That felt like overkill.
That sounds overkill.
Local woman missing. It starts with like this child, right? But it never goes background with this child. So it felt like a lot of loose ends because nothing was like concluded.
That would bother me so much.
Every last secret. 2 neighbours fight over like one husband. I was like, not for me.
Desperate Housewives, I guess.
Not for me.
No.
For a man, you're joking. Just get together.
All 3 of you. Solves the problems.
Scissor it out. What are you doing?
Cameron doesn't like any straight couples in any books.
No, but then...
No, this is what we've discovered.
One was... The 2 of them were rich, right? And then like 2 of them were povos. I mean, relatable. But... It made no sense. Because he also did cheat on her with the povo lady. So like, what are you doing?
Just all of you.
Honestly, just...
Fuck it out. Fuck it out. Yeah, like... Well, we need a t-shirt that just says, fuck it out. Merch coming soon.
Do we? You got more?
I have.
Because
I've got... I had a day of like where I was ill and I just sat and read loads of short stories on my Kindle that I got on Stuff Your Kindle Day.
Of course.
So I read A is for Antichrist by Ian Rob Wright. It was 22 pages but it felt longer. It was not great. I gave it 3 stars, but really it should have gotten 2. It was a short story about the coming of age for a young boy that turns out to be an Antichrist. Not as gory as I thought it'd be, but it's basically his birthday, and all of his friends come to visit, like, come over for a party, and his parents aren't there, and his powers start coming to, and he can, like, hear people talk, and it just gradually, there's some forced stuff in there. Yeah, what do you expect, though? It's about an Antichrist. It's not going to be fun. Then I read Horrors Next Door 1 by Tom Coleman, and I didn't realise that this is part of like an 8-book series.
That's the worst though.
Yeah, but the problem is, the actual Horrors Next Door story, each part is at the end of each book, so you have to read all the books to get that story.
No.
And I was like, it's not worth it, it's not, for me, it wasn't good enough. I gave it 2.5 stars. The first 2 stories were good, but the 3rd story fell flat, and it took up the bulk of the book as well. So that I skimmed through that because it's so crap. The 4th story was only part 1 of there's 5 books. It's only part 1 of like the main story of Horrors Next Door. And I just said I didn't enjoy enough to want to read the others. I then read The Slob by Aaron Beauregard. It got 4 stars, 4 knives, 4.5 for blood splatters. And I just put what the actual fuck. I can't decide if this was good or bad. The gore was gory, massive trigger warnings, made me want to gag at times and made my stomach churn. I wanted to put it down but I just couldn't stop reading it because I had to find out what happened next. So there are a few moments where I just had to like stare at the wall and evaluate my life. There would be bits in it where I'd read something and I'd just go and just stare at the wall for a few minutes.
As you do.
Because you think it's not going to get worse. And somehow it does.
There's always a way.
Also, just so you know guys, abortions are an option.
Stop.
I'm just letting you know that now. Because like the next book's on The Slob. I'm gonna read it, but like the whole time I'm gonna think this could have been avoided with a trip to the doctors.
Why would you want to keep that? Oh, okay, anyway.
Yeah.
Are you done with yours?
I've got 1 more after that, so you go.
the XX cute little witch story.
I love that book. It's so good. It's so cozy for like September, October time.
Yeah. Easy to consume as well.
Very easy to consume. But a good story.
Mhm. The Doll Factory, the writing style was not it for me. So
No. What about the story though? Like, would the story have been good if the writing was better?
no, the story was good, but it just was not for me.
No.
Like,
Give me a rundown.
it was like a gothic book around, I think, the
Gothic horror.
1800s,
Mhm.
and I just wasn't into it.
It's hard because some stuff like that can be really good, but others just miss the mark.
Yeah. The Good Lie. I put good plot twists. I don't know what happened.
Right, 17.
I don't
You've
know.
rated it 4 out of 5 though.
It must have been really good, but I just don't remember it.
Wow, this is our life now.
The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. That was another cute book. But the only flaw is that it mentions Norwich
And we live there. So.
more than once.
Yeah. We don't want to read a book about where we live. No
It wasn't
thanks.
about living here, it's just like, we're just going to go to Norwich. It's like, ugh.
You. I don't want to read about where... That's the thing though, like, I think when a book mentions where you live, it takes you out of the fantasy part. Because you read books to escape.
I'm like, oh, I'm just at home.
Yeah. No thanks.
The Maid's Diary.
No thoughts.
No thoughts.
But you gave it 4 out of 5.
Well, because basically it's like a rape revenge.
I like a rape revenge, but I Spit on Your Grave has my heart, so nothing else compares.
Yeah.
God, we were obsessed with that film for like a whole year. You bought all of them, and we watched them all.
We haven't read the newest one. Apparently it's really bad.
Watch the new one.
Deja Vu.
Yeah, we need to watch it. Maybe we should do a movie review on that series, actually.
Yeah.
We were so passionate about it, but we'd have to watch them all again, because I can't remember what happens in any of them,
How?
apart from like one.
Fair.
Well, they all blur together, because we watched them all in one go.
A little movie night.
I remember like the sewer scene with the rats, but in one of the newer ones.
I don't remember that.
Oh.
Then I read The Marriage Lie.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew I was gonna hate it. Like the first.
Was
minute.
it about straights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was on Kindle, right?
This just in, Cameron's straight phobic, heterosexual. Phobic.
Anyway, that's not true. But I read the first page and I was like, I'm gonna hate this book.
Sometimes you
So-
just know.
I just read it in its entirety and I was like, that was fucking awful.
Why did you just DNF?
I can't do that. I'm passionate about
You're a liar. You've DNF'd 2 books.
One book.
Oh, I've done 2. I've DNF'd 2 books this year.
This author does not know how Cards Against Humanity works.
How can you not
She
know?
can't-
It's been out for years.
She was trying to like lie to my face and tell me she got an answer about someone's life through Cards Against Humanity. How would you have gotten that?
Cards Against Humanity Tarot Card Edition.
It's like, what do you mean?
And that was it for you?
Yeah, thank God.
My final book of October was A Curse of True Love by Stephanie Garber. All of you Stephanie Garber girlies know that this was a make or break, and it is I'm not going to go into my review on it because there's very, very mixed reviews on it. I enjoyed it. I'm glad that it ended the way that it did, but we could have had more. I still gave it 5 stars because that entire series has my heart, and she's, in my eyes, Stephanie Garber can do no wrong.
So she goes and murders people.
Do no wrong. She created my favourite characters in all of literature, so
Free reign.
free reign, she can do what she likes. She can just do no wrong. I love that woman. But honestly, like, the Once Upon a Broken Heart and Caravel series is the best. It is my favourite, which is surprising considering all the books that I've read. Like, it's just like such a perfect fairy tale vibe, but plot twists and murder and hot men.
Okay, say bye.
Bye bye.